Hey guys, welcome to your bonus video. It's Thursday, sorry. Wednesday just might be out of the question. I don't know. I keep trying. So today we're going to talk about sketchbooks, what they're for, how to use them. I hope this gives you a lot of ideas. I love my sketchbooks. I pulled all the ones that I have that I'm using. So let's just jump into this video because it really is a fun one, and I think you'll get an idea of what sketchbooks are for if you don't know already. Alright, so I don't know if you can see, here's my stack that I'm currently using, plus I have some, as you can tell, some empty pages up here, and that's because I got a big old mixed media sketch pad, and it's so big, and it's kind of hard to draw on because it's so thick, so I just tear each page out, and then I just create an image. I'll block it off and create an image, and as you can see, sometimes they don't go very well, and sometimes they do. And that's part of what a sketchbook's for. So I'm going to start at the beginning. I made myself some notes because I love sketchbooks, and I think sketchbooks are one of the best tools for anybody, whether you're an artist or a crafter, maybe music, whatever. I think everybody, even the most uncreative person in the world, I think you could benefit from a sketchbook. So how can you use sketchbooks? What can you use them for? And there's a lot. One thing I like to do is to try different mediums, whether I'm trying oil crayons or acrylic paints, oil paints, watercolors, markers, Posca markers, whatever I'm trying, it's a great place to do that. Try out new stuff, different techniques. Sometimes if you can tell, this is really detailed. My little pigs are really detailed, and one thing I want to use my sketchbooks for is to do looser, not so many details. A little loose, not so tight. And let me see if I have anything in here that qualifies. Maybe the mountains. Oh, also watercolor pencils. Maybe the mountains, though. As you can see, they're not quite as detailed. I still need to work on it. It's still really tight and concise. But trying different techniques, different mediums. Creating color palettes, just playing with colors and sitting there and making color marks. They're great for that. I haven't done that yet. I'd like to. But as you can tell, I've been playing with different color palettes. Trying to, different things. This was the inks that I used as paints. So using different materials, different techniques, different color palettes, designing patterns. We've all seen the mandala patterns. You could make your own pattern, and it would be great for that. You could keep a collection of visuals that inspire you. And what does that mean? That means you could create images that inspire you, or you could cut out of a magazine and tape them on one side of your sketch pad, and then try to recreate them on the other, or pull out the color palette on the other. What drew you to that image, the image that you're drawn to, glue, tape it down one side, and then what drew you to that image, recreate it on the other. Sketchbooks are awesome for that. And just to grow your creativity. The more you play in a sketchbook, the more you're going to want to play. And the more your abilities, the more your color eye, you're going to be not afraid to try new techniques, to try new materials. So they're great for that. What is the main purpose of a sketchbook? To me, I think everybody's main purpose with a sketchbook is deeply personal. I'm going to show you my sketchbooks, and we'll kind of go over the meaning. As you can tell, the ones I've pulled out, those are a lot of images that I was making perfect, almost. These are like a smaller version. This is one way I use my sketchbook. I use it to create a smaller version of a image or setting that I might want to recreate larger. I try new materials. Again, this was the inks. I try animals. I don't normally do animals, so I tried a cat. So to try different subjects, it's a great way. But here are all the ones I use besides the papers. I have this one, and this one. And none of them are really big. And I like that. Oh, and I have this one. They're easy to carry because that's one thing I personally like to do in my sketchbook is anywhere I go, whether it's a trip or maybe I'm going to the park, I might want to draw, I'll throw it in my car or I'll throw it in my backpack with some pencils and I'll just sketch. And I try not to take an eraser because I don't want it to be perfect in my sketchbook. This is the place where I can draw and mess up, but maybe learn from the mistake, because when you're creating, is there really any mistakes? Question for you. So the main purpose of a sketchbook is to be yourself, to use them however you want to. If you go to the park or you're on vacation, you might want to sketch something you see, your version of remembering it. You might want to develop an idea, like you had a thought about bees, so you sketch a bee real fast. Make you some notes. Don't forget, sketchbooks are not just drawing, painting, pictures. Write. You can write in them. These can be a diary. They can be like a journal, okay? Write in them, draw in them, cut and paste in them. They're perfect for that. If you are trying to get a point across to somebody and you have your sketchbook, pull it out and draw it out. Write and draw it out. Give them a visual. Just some doodles. Doodle in them. Be yourself. And like I said, they can be smaller images of bigger ones that you have in your brain floating around. So make it your own. Make your sketchbooks your own, however you want to use them, however you see them. Relax and remember, there's no messing up, there's no right or wrong. You don't have to draw in them, but open them up and interact with your sketchbook every day, whether you're drawing, writing, gluing, or a combination of all three or two. Divide the page. Like I divide these pages because they're so big. And then you could have, like I said, a glued picture here, draw it over here. Maybe a rough sketch here and a more refined over here. Split your pages up if they're big enough and, you know, mark your progress or see an idea come from just a sketch to full fruition. Don't forget, test your new materials. Test new ideas. Test, play, experiment. Don't be afraid. So, okay, so I have these 4, and these 2 I've had forever, and I was just going to show you some sketching I've done in these. And like I said, they're not fancy sketches. They are meant for my eyes only, but I'll share. Life cycle of a tree. It's a rough sketch on an art exhibit, the life cycle of a tree. Just playing around drawing eyes. This was a rough sketch of this painting. So make rough sketches, make miniatures. Then if I wanted to take it bigger from that, I could. This was just playing around and drawing. This was a singer on TikTok. A hibiscus. You see the point. This one is different things. It's different mediums. It's different images. Different. And then this one's the same way. This is just some rough sketches. Some of this stuff I don't even know what I rough sketched. And sometimes they're just fun, trying new techniques, trying, you know, am I going left, right? Am I doing full face, half face? So these are all the ideas. I don't think there's anything in this one. Oh, there is. Mark making. I made a whole picture just using marks. And a little dog. I had never made an image using just marks. That was something I tried. I'm using a mixture more of paints with watercolor pencils. Just mixing those things, sketching, just sometimes writing like a personal journal. You can do all those things in your sketchbooks. Sketchbooks can be amazing. So guys, remember, a sketchbook is going to be a place for you to let your creativity free. Don't try to rein it in. Just go with it. Experiment with different materials, different colors, different images. Always have it with you. Don't be afraid to cut and glue images on one half and recreate it on the other. Just make your sketchbook yours. And I suggest having 2 or 3 different types of paper, different sizes, just different. You could also make your own, you know. If you wanted to create something like a journal like this, a junk journal, but you wanted it to be more art, you know, sketchbook wise, just put the right type of paper in it. That's the only difference. Oh, this one had something else. See? Different things. This was actually the Faber-Castell markers. So I have different textures, different images. This was the Faber-Castell crayons, I think. This was the mark making. So just different. Everything's different. Everything's fun. I wasn't being, you know, like, oh, it has to be perfect. Like when I moved to the big canvas or even the smaller canvas, I want it to come out, you know, how I see it exactly. Where in my sketchbook, it doesn't have to. And I create images and techniques, you know, I create movements with my hands and things that I would never do on a canvas, but I do in my sketchbook. So guys, I hope you liked this bonus video about what a sketchbook's for and some ideas how you can use it. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and that little bell. I think I'm only 4 away from 700 and only 304 away from 1,000, which is our goal by the end of the year. Please share my channel. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Remember, Wednesdays are always going to be art related, and the other 2 days of the week are more paper creations. I'll see you later, guys. I'll see you on Friday. If you're coming back on Friday. If you're not, I'll see you next Wednesday. Have an awesome weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.